Attention passionate Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to what's happening around the NFC West, especially with the Seattle Seahawks, you know that the team is in a bit of a delicate phase right now. The offseason has been interesting, to say the least. After a solid past few seasons that have seen the Seahawks return to prominence, they're not resting on their laurels. No, sir. They're actively looking to strengthen their roster, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, which has been a focal point for fans and analysts alike. And it's not just about filling gaps, it's about making a statement. The Seahawks want to be a dominant force again, and that means adding impactful players who can make a difference right away. One of the big moves that caught everyone's attention was the signing of DeMarcus Lawrence earlier in the offseason. Yes, that's right, the veteran pass rusher who's been a mainstay in the league for years. Signing Lawrence to a 3-year deal was a clear statement that the Seahawks are serious about bolstering their pass rush. Lawrence, for those who might not be as familiar, has been a consistent force on the edge, known for his ability to get to the quarterback and disrupt plays. His veteran presence, combined with his pass rushing skills, will be invaluable as the Seahawks try to improve their sack numbers from last season. But here's the thing, while Lawrence is a great addition, the Seahawks are still exploring options to add even more firepower to their pass rush. Now, let's talk about the current situation. Uchenna Nwasu, who was one of the standout performers last season, is still on the PUP list. That's right, he's still working his way back from injury, and while he's expected to be a key piece of the defense, his absence has been felt. The Seahawks' defense, which has historically been a strength of the team, especially under coach Pete Carroll, is still in a bit of a transitional phase. In their first preseason game against the Las Vegas Raiders, the defense managed only 1 sack. That's not quite the dominance we're used to seeing from the Seahawks' front seven. With several starters on the bench, it's clear that the team is still in the process of gelling, and they're definitely looking for reinforcements. This brings us to the intriguing part of the story: potential signings of veteran free agent pass rushers who could step in and make an immediate impact. And trust me, there are some notable names on the market. Now, I want to highlight 3 players who could be a perfect fit for Seattle's defensive scheme and could help elevate the pass rush to a new level. First up, Jadeveon Clowney. Now, Clowney has a history with the Seahawks, having played for them in 2019. That season was quite memorable, and many fans still remember his game-changing plays. Clowney is a player who routinely signs contracts after training camp, which means he's usually getting ready to join a team late in the offseason, and he's always motivated to prove himself. Over the years, Clowney has been known for his explosiveness and ability to collapse the pocket. He had impressive sack numbers in 2021, with over 9 sacks, and even in 2023, he was still making plays. Bringing him back to Seattle could be a smart move. His veteran leadership combined with his pass-rushing ability could be exactly what the Seahawks need as they push for a playoff run again. Next, there's Zadarius Smith, who split time last year between the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. Despite the upheaval midseason, Smith managed to rack up a total of 9 sacks. That's pretty impressive considering the circumstances. At 32 years old, Smith still has plenty of juice left. His energy and relentless style of rushing the passer make him a dangerous threat on 3rd down. For the Seahawks, who need someone to add depth and punch to their pass rush rotation, Smith could be an ideal veteran presence who can step in and produce right away. His experience in different defensive schemes and his ability to get to the quarterback could be exactly what the Seahawks need to complement their existing pass rushers. And then there's Preston Smith. Last season, he was traded midseason from the Green Bay Packers to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That move seemed to impact him as he only managed 5 sacks for the year. But don't forget, from 2021 to 2023, Preston recorded between 8 and 9 sacks each season. He's a dependable edge rusher with a solid track record and a knack for getting to the quarterback. His experience with multiple teams and schemes makes him a versatile option for Seattle. If the Seahawks decide to go the veteran route, Preston Smith could be a cost-effective yet productive addition, helping to fill the void and bring some much-needed stability to the pass rush rotation. Now, it's important to understand that all three of these players bring different strengths to the table, but they all share one common trait. They are proven pass rushers who can make a difference. The Seahawks clearly recognize that improving their pass rush is essential if they want to compete at the highest level in 2024. Their current roster, with DeMarcus Lawrence signed and Nwasu still working his way back, needs reinforcements. These veteran free agents could step in quickly, bring leadership, and add immediate pass-rushing threats that could change the game in close situations. Let's also talk a little about the bigger picture. The Seahawks have been trending upward, especially under Pete Carroll's leadership, which emphasizes a strong defense and a competitive mindset. Last season, they made significant strides, making the playoffs and showing the league that they aren't just a rebuilding team anymore. They're a team looking to contend, and they're willing to make bold moves to do so. The addition of a veteran pass rusher or two could be the final piece in the puzzle, giving Seattle the edge it needs to challenge their division rivals and push deep into the postseason. And historically, Pete Carroll's teams have always thrived when they have a dominant pass rush. Remember the Legion of Boom days? A big part of that success was the relentless pressure from the front four. So, it's no surprise that the Seahawks are actively exploring options to bring in proven pass rushers who can help replicate that old magic. Even with a relatively young core, adding veteran leadership and experience can be a game changer. Of course, fans are eager to see how the roster will shape up before the season begins. Training camp is just around the corner, and every move the team makes in these next few weeks will be scrutinized. The Seahawks have the talent on offense, with Geno Smith leading a capable and dynamic attack, but it's the defense that could make or break their chances of reaching the Super Bowl again. The pass rush, in particular, needs to be more aggressive, more relentless, and more unpredictable. And don't forget, the Seahawks have a history of making savvy signings in free agency. They're not just looking for players who can fill a roster spot, they want game changers. Bringing in a player like Clowney, Smith, or Preston could ignite the entire defense, creating pressure that leads to turnovers and shortens games. That's what separates good teams from championship teams: pressure on the quarterback, disciplined coverage, and a relentless attitude on defense. Now, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, the expectations are sky high. The NFC West continues to be a tough division, with teams like the 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals all vying for supremacy. But the Seahawks are setting themselves up for a strong challenge. Their roster is shaping up to be versatile, and with the right additions, they could be the team to beat. The fans are already buzzing, and the energy around Seattle is palpable. Everyone's eyes are on the pass rush, on how these veterans might come in and make an immediate impact, and on whether the Seahawks can finally take that next step and bring home another Super Bowl trophy. So, what do you think, Seahawks fans? Are these veteran free agent pass rushers the missing piece to your team's puzzle? Do you believe that bringing Clowney, Smith, or Preston could push Seattle over the edge? Or do you think the team should focus on developing their current roster and giving the younger players more opportunities? Whatever your thoughts, drop them in the comments below. I want to hear your take. And remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news because this team is on the move, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.